Wow. Wow. We're here. Wow. It's, wow. Fellas, folks, and homies alike. Wow, it's been a while. It's been a whole year since we last met. How's it doing? How you doing, fellas? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Sorry the stream was a little bit delayed. I had to do some setup for like a MIDI keyboard. I was just about figuring out how the fuck to use Ableton, which is a process. I was doing it with my piano teacher. We were just hanging out, vibing, trying to figure out how the hell to get the thing to work on the thing. It was pretty fun. Shout out to my my piano teacher Amber, absolute legend. Deserves more respect than she gets. Absolutely wonderful human being, and tolerates me. So as far as I'm concerned, a fucking saint. You know. But with that, we continue Higurashi. I don't know how many people that is exciting to, but it is very exciting to me. Because man, I like Higurashi quite a bit. It's pretty cool. It's nice to have a little visual novel going on during Mondays. Have like a nice a little shorter stream, not as populated. Just a nice small little reading by the campfire. It's a nice time. Get this gross ambiance out of here. Not as populated. I mean, it's true. That's not an incorrect statement. Sometimes you get other people in here. Sometimes, though. What's the member list? Let's go. I mean, honestly, I can never trust, yeah, right. I can never trust, what Twitch says is, who's, watching. Because, dude, there'll be, 4 active members in chat, and Twitch will be saying, oh, we got 1 active viewer right now. Okay. Sure. Whatever you say. Ah, we're here. We can get the border up. Where is it? Bingo. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. I've actually been I don't want to say overloading myself on visual novel shit, but delicious leftover popcorn. But I have been hanging out with Raging Loop in my own time, and that is very nice. No face cam tonight? Not for visual novels. Not for visual novels. Welcome, though, Ruby. I hope you're here to have a wonderful time as we hunker down in our beds and read some Higurashi. I'm pretty sure we did these already. I'm flattered you would call me a cutie, though. I don't know if that's true, but I'm glad you think it. I don't like being seen when I'm doing the voice acting stuff. You know how it is. Last time, oh, by the way, refresher, last time on Higurashi, we were almost killed, or at least severely injured by a, hentai, sure. I mean, that just depends on what you're into. Anything Any anime can be a hentai if you're kinky enough. Oh man, yeah, right? True character development. But yeah, last time, Dan, no! Thank you. Doing God's work. Yeah, last time, we found out more, damning secrets about our friends, and kind of got a little spooky. They're kind of listening in on us. It's not very fun, and they attempted to grievously harm us by shoving like needles in our mochi. Very nice, very epic. So yeah, we are recovering from that. Sound of muffled footsteps knocked in front of my door to my room. What was the secret again? I was showering last time, I think. Oh gosh. Basically that the group had connections to almost all of the murders that have been going on. Even if they're like light connections, they are connections. Wish we could still play Core Magic Library. What is that? I'd like to hear more about it. Because it sounds kind of sick. Oh, to silence, as if whoever they belonged to is ascertaining if I was inside. Of all things I could have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. I was very much conscious, but my body hadn't caught up yet. Even with danger bearing down on me from just beyond the door, it was as if I was completely paralyzed, unable to move. Without a doubt, this was sheer terror. I was so instantly going to try and cripple you instead of like just using Rena, brag, and joining the group or something. I mean, I kind of doubt that we would want to join their. I think it's kind of sketchy that anyone would want to join that group. I mean, I kind of doubt I wouldn't. And we are supposed to be the everyman here. Please just leave. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? As a cat that wants to use science to enlarge your breasts? Nice. I'm joining the cult. Fair. If they came into my room right now, then... Ah! I sprung to my feet and threw my covers at my mom, who was opening the door. Oh, wow, Keiichi, what's the matter? Sorry. I was still half asleep. I thought it was still 1 or 2 a.m., but the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. Felt nothing like morning. Yesterday I must have fallen asleep right after that. I should have gotten a full 10 hours of rest. But it didn't feel like that at all. My internal clock was completely screwed up and my sense of balance fell off. I felt feverish enough that it was clear to me that I was still not well. Well, Keiichi, how are you feeling? Can you make it to school? Oh. I was well enough to go, but I wasn't mentally prepared for it. I'm still plagued with the terror from yesterday. If I had swallowed that needle, what would have happened? Oh, what if it had pierced my tongue? It was undoubtedly a murderous intent, but I don't think that's all it was. If they really wanted to kill me, then there were other more certain ways to do it. They don't resort to such a dubious method as having me swallow a needle. I mean, I didn't want to believe it, but going that far was just a threat from Rena and me on. I'm just glad you didn't die, but next time we'll use a more assured method. Like that. Something like sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this. Did you make it to the hospital? Did you take your medicine? Yeah, kinda. Something about my mom's dubious gaze bothered me. She seemed more concerned about her son missing 2 days of school rather than him being sick. It was definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't really physically ill. It'll be hard for you to get back on track once your daily routine's thrown off. Come on, get on up. We say wellness is a state of mind. I've heard that line many times before. I was given an award at elementary school for having perfect attendance, but it wasn't like I was healthier than everyone. Come on, go wash your face. Yeah, I'm gonna stop putting needles in my food. Oh man, what a sketchy way to go about it. I mean, it works though. Yeah. Oh, you know what the problem is? It's 'cause he's meeting with a police officer. That's probably the problem. So, you know, things are already kind of in jeopardy mode. Letting him join would be like security risk numero uno. You eating pomegranate right now? Nice. Very cool. Awesome. I actually want some pomegranate now. What have you done? Breakfast is already ready. There's much time before Arena-chan comes to get you. Mom's telling me I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up skipping a second day. By the way, were you the one who got bean paste all over the living room wall, Keiichi? You shouldn't do something like that. Your father was quite angry. I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't have much of a reaction. Come over, I'll share? Hell yeah. Also, Mom didn't question me any further about it. They are. She headed back downstairs after she was certain I was getting up. What Mian said as she left yesterday. I hated if you missed school tomorrow. Came back and dwelled in the back of my head. What did she mean by that? I didn't even really have time to think about it. She was saying, don't be absent. Thinking that a bit further was the same as her saying I should just go about living my life as if nothing happened. If I showed any signs of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. For instance, maybe I shouldn't pay attention to someone like Oishi-san enticing me with something unusual. Meaning, if I didn't watch my mouth or do anything differently from the norm, in effect, it would end up flagging myself as someone who was not wanted. It seems that was something that the girls didn't intend to forgive. So if I just went along as normal, no harm would come to me. Is that how it's gonna be? All that misery I experienced up until just yesterday would almost creepily just fade away. It was an enticing deal. Okay, cool. I just need to check if my my microphone is picking up the loud ass Xbox in the background. It doesn't seem like it is. Actually, you know what? Bam. Now it's definitely not picking it up. I remember I had it on, not gonna lie. A new plan would kidnap all of the girls? True. There's no way such a selfish thing could... I swallowed hard. I was once again deliberated on the idea that I just rejected. Miana was probably a good person who had her friends at heart. She was giving me, who had mistakenly broken some rules of theirs, a chance. What I did really something so unforgivable? But Miana had given me another chance. She was saying if I had just forgot everything and kept living on like I had been, I'd be forgiven. Okay, Chi, your food's gonna get cold. Hurry up and get down here. Rena'll be here if you don't hurry. I'm coming. Crammed my textbooks in my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. Picked up my somewhat bland breakfast. Damn! It seemed that I didn't have much time. It was already past when I usually met up with Rena. Given yesterday's events, she'd probably be here in the next 5 minutes. I needed to be ready to head to school by then. I had to get everything that had happened the past 2 days. Forget it all and return to my normal life. For this to be normal, I have to be where I normally meet up with Rena. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. You wanna stream downstream? Always! I jumped at the sound and dropped my chopsticks. The chime signaled that Rena had arrived. Mom hurried me along.
Oh, come on, Rena-chan's already here. Hurry, hurry.
My mother's merry smile and my gloomy face were polar opposites. Honestly, I was reluctant to see Rena, who was waiting there on the other side of the door. The Rena on the other side, was it the Rena I knew? I couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual. Bro, I'm not fucking ready.
Oh, morning.
An invigorating greeting filtered in from across the doorway.
I came since Keiichi-kun was a bit late. Will he be okay today, I wonder?
The manner in which Rena was concerned was without a doubt the Rena I knew. That was probably only if I reciprocated. For everything from yesterday. Pretend as though nothing happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious deaths that happened the following years. Forget about the people falling to their death and the terminal illness and the suicide and the lynching and disappearances. Forget it. Forget all of it. Forget that Rena and beyond was scary. Of course, forget it all. Forget about everyone. Forget about the mochi too. Forget. Higurashi isn't even all of it. You got the other visual novels too, right? I might continue those on my own time though. Not gonna lie. Sounds exciting though. I am pretty excited to get to hop on this Discord stream. Yeah, actually, 100%, probably just be a hangout kind of deal. Not that I dislike streaming this. I actually really like streaming this. Even if it's not the most popular thing ever, I actually really like streaming this. It's really fun. Rena once again asked to make sure.
Can you make it to school?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Great! Then let's go! Mi-chan's waiting!
Rena showed me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. My nervousness dissipated, giving way to relief. I gotta say though, if I ever played this with like the original sprites, oh god, I would never make it through Higurashi. That's a great plan.
But you see, Satoko-chan was so insistent she could do it.
As we were walking, Rita talked about a lot of different stuff, more so than usual. And
Satoko-chan is clumsy, so she failed no matter how many times she tried. She was so cute.
Everything Rita talked about was just silly nonsense, so I just replied every so often and laughed from time to time. It was a rather laid-back conversation. Wait, actually, which Rena here? Which Rena? There's two Renas you could be referring to here. Why not both? True! We passed by one of our neighbors and they called out to us. Oh my, Keiichi-chan and Rina-chan, aren't you two a bit late today? Mion-chan said she was going on ahead.
Oh, did Mi-chan look mad, I wonder? I wonder? We need to hurry up, Keiichi-kun.
As we smiled and parted ways with our neighbor, they turned back towards me and stuck out a tongue. Not expecting that, I couldn't help but crack a smile.
Keiichi-kun smiled.
What? Rina stopped and stared at me.
I was thinking that you still hadn't recovered from your cold since you seemed down this morning, Keiichi-kun. But now you seem fine. Fine.
With a grin, she gently poked my cheek. was a bright, sincere smile. Hey, Keiichi Maebara. How can you still doubt Rina after she shows you a smile like that? Maybe I just had a high fever up until today, and I imagined everything that I thought happened because I was bedridden and delirious. I really hope that was the case. If God would grant me just one wish, there's only one thing I wish for. I want what happened in the past few days, more specifically from the night of the one in Nagashi up until last night. I want all of that to have never happened. I wonder how many times I'd wish for these past few days. As long as Rita kept smiling like this, I think it might just become a reality. So I wanted Rita to keep on smiling. Keep on smiling.
So, Keiichi-kun, those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all? Why do you have to do it? You know why?
That vain wish of mine was instantly shattered. My heart began palpitating. The relaxed morning mood suddenly became frigid. Rita's smile was the same as usual. Her eyes were gentle as usual. Those mochi yesterday. Did you eat them all? Of course she wasn't asking the question at face value. Another Rita was asking, did you get the message? She's probably trying to convey that.
Keiichi-kun.
She's reluctant to give an answer. Rita stopped walking and stared deeply into my eyes. Ah. Don't hesitate, Keiichi Maebara. Rina was acting the same as always, wasn't she? I needed to respond in my usual way. Naturally, of course. But my throat and my mouth had gone dry and my lips were stuck together. Rain, answer, Keiichi. Not much time had passed. I could still keep the conversation going naturally. I had to say something quickly. Rina playfully mimicked what I said when I finally squeaked something out. Rina's reaction was still normal. Duh. Seems that there wasn't as long of a pause as I had thought. Somehow I finally squeaked out the rest. Delicious. However, my strained efforts neither sullied nor brightened Rita's expression. Or would I panic thinking I replied incorrectly? But after a few moments, Rina broke into her usual soft smile and giggled with a joyful voice that seemed to echo throughout the morning air. Being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well.
I see. So did you eat all of them, I wonder? I wonder?
The timid smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the sewing needle? Is that what she was asking? If I'd swallowed it, then I wouldn't be here. Nah, I couldn't finish all of them. There's still some left. I was scared out of my wits, but that's how I played it.
Huh? Well, what about the homework to see if you could tell which one Rena made?
Homework, was it due today?
Yeah, it's due today. P-chan will get angry. There's probably a penalty game ready for you.
I hate that. Yeah, add one to the yike meter. Both laughed at each other again. To a casual observer, it was just a typical morning. If I could just let myself believe, then even I'd think it was just the usual morning routine. But I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath this facade of this giggling Rena. Lies. I recalled that unexpected piercing voice that I could hardly believe came from Rena's mouth. Though with that image crossed my mind, I felt a cold sweat trickle down my back. Was it only at that particular time that something evil had possessed Rena? No, that was wrong. That was still Rena. Noishi-san told me, didn't he? After I looked into her before Ryugu-san moved away from Yamizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went for her school building and broke all the windows. Rena had a disorder that normal people didn't. No matter how pleasantly she smiled, that fact would not change. But I couldn't even imagine how she looked as she broke all the glass throughout the school. One thing I knew is that it wasn't something spur of the moment. If it was just some sudden outburst of anger, that maybe she'd break a pane or two, but she broke all of the windows all throughout her school. Just imagine going through her own school and breaking the windows with a bat. Swinging full force at each pane of glass, one after another, paying no heed to the flying shards. Her classmates aghast, unable to move from the sudden turn of events. I wonder where she could have found the most windows lined up in a row. Probably the hallway. Walk, wind up, smash. Walk, wind up. It was difficult for me to connect that horrifying image with Irina smiling at me now. But I just had to imagine it. Evil Rena. Possibly because it was unimaginable. That naive way of thinking no longer worked. The unpleasant piercing sound of shattered glass, the crunching noise as Rena treads across the broken shards walking towards me. His classmates going pale as they forget to even breathe. I wonder what they did as Rena came closer, breaking windows along her path. Did they earnestly try to bring her to her senses by saying something? Or did they jump at her trying to stop her savagery? Or did they run to the staff room after being directed there by the teachers? Probably none of those. Soon, in the face of the blood-curdling sight of Rena busting window after window, undoubtedly all they could do was silently clear a path for her. Dumbfounded, just clearing the path for Rena to continue. It was far too violent an act for them to seek refuge by looking the other way. It's not to say they were looking the other way. They were doing the only thing they could to protect themselves. If they had done something differently from the rest, they may have suddenly found themselves as Rena's new target. What would Rena have done to whoever attracted her attention? Well, the answer was obvious. She would have undoubtedly acted according to her whims. Meaning I would be the next window. Rena staring into my eyes, shards of glass crunching and crackling underfoot as she drew closer. I was also drawn into her eyes, paralyzed. And Rena struck me with the bat over and over again like I was one of those windows. Crouched down on the floor, desperately protecting my head. Rena didn't care whether it was my head or my back. It's almost like she hits me again and again. What kind of expression was she making as she was doing this over and over again? I peered up to see. Her expression was so indifferent it was completely unnerving. Just because no matter how many times he struck me, I didn't make as pleasant a sound as the other windows. She struck me continuously over and over again. The sound Rena wanted didn't come out. Our classmates standing around didn't try to stop her. They didn't want to be in the next window. Somebody save me. Turning a blind eye on us for hanging out. But of course, everyone in class scrambled to obtain the highest standardized test scores. They gained nothing from saving a cram school tryhard like me. Eventually there would be a faint sound similar to when you crack open a walnut and some reddish-black spray would shoot out. Anyway, it wasn't that Rena momentarily lost herself in anger. After forcing myself to breathe and calming down my heart, I recalled what Oishi-san told me.
And in the counselor's medical report, he recorded all the conversations he had with Rena-san. It shows up in quite a bit at that.
What does?
She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama.
Following that, Rena was suspended and had regular examinations at the hospital. But as Rena was undergoing counseling, she had said it over and over again. Oyashiro-sama. It seems that the Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost appearing in her house every night, standing over her pillow looking down at her. I was only a piece of their conversation, so I still couldn't see the big picture. But it was by no means a happy little conversation. Then what Rena did, she sang the ghastly incident was a result of her being possessed by Oyashiro-sama. Up until now, I didn't want to believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's why I wanted to say the mysterious deaths every year happened because of some sort of conspiracy. Every time I talked to the Oishi-san, I was more certain that the deaths were the work of men, and not some curse. Except if it was people perpetrating the incidents, my friends were somehow deeply connected. If I refused to believe that the curse was real, then I would have to believe that those who acted the kindness to me were deeply involved in the incidents. Why? How? For what reason? Was everybody? It was a much more painful and troublesome thought than accepting it was just Oyashiro's curse. In the aftermath, Rina had admitted to her doctor that it was because she was possessed by Oyashiro-sama. I felt a strange sense of relief from that. So that's how it was. There wasn't a second side to Rina. She did that because she was possessed by something strange like Oyashiro-sama. It wasn't Rina's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one to blame. I knew this was all backwards, refusing to believe that it was a curse. I wanted there to be a human perpetrator. Now that my close friends were the ones under suspicion, I changed my beliefs at my own convenience, saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse to blame. Which was the better choice, accepting that Oyashiro-sama's curse exists, or that Rina and the rest of them were deeply involved in the string of mysterious deaths. I didn't want to think about it. If I just didn't think about it, I'd be able to continue the same as always. I wanted to believe that, but that was no longer possible. I received their message. It was pathetic of me to try to bend the meaning to my own convenience. Regardless of my opponent being a human or a curse, I won't let it kill me. Because if I was just bend over and give in, for no good reason at all.
Keiichi-kun, yeah. You've been making a really weird face. Why, I wonder?
Yelling sharply upon hearing Rina's voice, I came back to my senses. Before I realized it, we were already at the entrance. Shaking my head a few times, I exercised all those terrifying thoughts. No matter how you looked at it, there's no way Rina could have done such terrible things. It was like I was trying to placate myself. Boing! As I slid the door open, a blackboard eraser load of chalk dropped out of my head the moment I stepped into the classroom. The chalk dust went on my eyes, inducing a brief moment of agony. Oh boy, we're back.
Yo ho ho ho! How befitting for the truant Keiichi-chan. Good morning to both of you, Keiichi and Rina. Oh, good morning, Satoko-chan, Rika-chan.
Not quite in the mood for I didn't really react to Satoko's trap. Satoko braced herself as I passed by, expecting me to attack her. She seemed a bit disappointed as I simply walked by silently.
Well, what is this? How discouraging indeed. Keiichi doesn't seem back to his usual self yet. Yeah. Take it easy on for today, okay?
Masochist lolly? I mean mood. Suddenly, there was a slap down on my shoulder. It hurt a bit. Hey, Kei-chan! Did you get enough rest? It was Mion. My mind was full of the stuff about Rina, but Mion was also a party of interest. Remember, Keiichi? That hawkish gaze from yesterday. Yeah, morning. What's with that energetic greeting? Did you eat the mochi I bought you? Because I ate them up like this. Those words were itching to be blurted out. I really just didn't have the appetite. I ate a few, but quite a lot were left over. What about the homework, bitch? You have an answer for which one was Reina's?
Oh, I can't believe you forget your homework, Keiichi-kun.
Oh, sheesh. Then we can't help it. Time for your penalty! Flashing a lurid smile, Mia returned to her seat. There's nothing from our exchanges that would cause our classmates to suspect anything was amiss. But of course, anyone listening to our conversations up until this morning wouldn't see anything suspicious. That's why it was so frightening. They acted in a way that, regardless of whatever happened to Keiichi Maebara, no one would ever suspect them. That fact had me terrified. Soon the teacher came. After she asked how I felt and took attendance, another dull, ordinary day began. This game makes me feel unimaginable sorrow and anxiety. I do not know why. Why is this the one, Jesus? This free study period was a convenient time to consider where I stood. I gently closed my eyes and pondered the ridiculous position I was in right now. First of all, what I shouldn't forget was how dangerous of a situation I was in. I'd fallen out of favor with them. After interacting with Oishi-san multiple times, I could see it was getting closer to the heart of the matter. The warning yesterday with the mochi was a good indicator of that. No, calling it a warning was just my habit of understating things. It probably had no meaning beyond stunting my progress and buying themselves some time, until they had a method of completely erasing me. Or just biding their time. Even though they were keeping me under their thumb with threats, it didn't change the fact that they knew too much. The chilling sensation on my desk made me recall Satoshi Hojo, the boy who was using the seat until last year when he disappeared. Was he also similar to me? Did he learn something he shouldn't have and was erased? Damn, I wouldn't let them get rid of me so easily. Never. But were they really trying to kill me? I've had these contradictory feelings for a while now, even though I suspected them, I felt like I had to cover for them. With all their suspicious behavior, a morning like this just made it all seem like an elaborate hoax. No, it's just what I want to believe. Doubting my friends, covering for them, my life was in danger, or was it? Actually, I was debating the wrong point. Given my current situation, these points were something that should have been deliberated on a long time ago. But really, Rina and the rest of them, were they actually aiming to kill me? The little voice inside me continued to torment me with these unresolvable trains of thought. You idiot, Keiichi Maebara, the answer should be obvious. But maybe that sewing needle may have been an accident, right? How would you screw up and drop a sewing needle on a piece of mochi? The benefit of doubt can only go so far. Both me and Amion had acted and behaved suspiciously, but maybe it was some sort of misunderstanding. But what kind of misunderstanding? It wasn't just suspicious, it was outright ludicrous, right? But Rina just corrected me for lying, and Ian only asked me about what I had for lunch. I was standing outside my door eavesdropping for a good hour, though. But maybe she was just waiting for my phone call to end. And again, a whole hour, though. As I normally go home afterwards without saying a word. I heard from Oishi-san about what Rina did at her former school. At the hospital. She said it was Yushiro-san's fault. Cut it out, Keiichi Maebara. Don't you realize they're out to kill you? I didn't really blurt those words out loud. I heard myself say that so directly, left me dumbfounded for a few moments. Afterwards, I had to look around to check if anyone else heard it. A little soliloquy cut a little too close to the truth. Even though I could feel the murderous intent from me and the others, part of me somewhere still tried to deny that. This late in the game, such hesitation could be fatal. I knew that. Rest in peace? Yeah, it's over. But I was just your average student, a man living his normal, ordinary life. I think I just suddenly believed that my friends who had been happily laughing together until last Sunday now intended to kill me? Right? Too soft, Keiichi. This time I remembered to keep my voice down so only I could hear it. That was one thing I now understood. I was too soft. I didn't completely understand how dangerous Rina and the rest of them were. No, I wasn't trying to understand. I was too soft for not listening to Oishi-san when he was earnestly showing me the heart of the matter. I didn't listen because I was too busy pretending to be dejected. I didn't comprehend it. I was just running away. I didn't comprehend that somebody had a notion to try and kill me. I needed to get rid of such naive thoughts. As I made that resolution, I heard the bell signaling me into class. So soon, the day was already over. I didn't recall eating lunch or doing anything in class. My friends were putting their desks together in preparation for club activities. Not long ago, I would have happily jumped into that circle.
My, Keiichi-san, how rude of you to even think about leaving.
At least the Toko spoke was so typical and familiar it almost physically hurt.
Keiichi-kun, is today not a good day, I wonder? And we were gonna win big together.
Seeing Rina's expression, which said she was really looking forward today, was hard to take. Hey, Keiichi. Maybe Oishi-san is just some enormous jerk trying to separate me from the others by lying to me. Try to expunge such weak-minded thinking, I slapped myself in the face.
Keiichi-kun.
Yeah, was Rina really trying to kill me? I wish someone would tell me it was a hoax. I didn't care if it was actually one or not, I just wanted someone to say it was. Yet another weak-willed thought. How did I ever become this naive?
Are you alright? Does your head hurt?
It's true. It's true. Apparently that was how my inner dilemma appeared to Rina.
You're pale. Can you make it home by yourself? Maybe I should accompany you home, I wonder.
No, it's okay. Sorry. I can go home by myself. Just have the meeting without me. Upon hearing that I wasn't going to participate in the club meeting, Mion pouted unhappily. Since Kei-chan was so bent on having a revenge match, we're only going to play that deduction game for before too.
Keiichi-san doesn't have a burning desire for a rematch. How pathetic.
I wouldn't fall for such a dumb taunt. Not even a real retort, I just grabbed my bag and was about to get up. Someone's hand perched itself gently on my head.
Keiichi doesn't seem to be well. How very unfortunate.
It was Rika-chan. She was stretched up as far as she could, doing her best to pat my head with her petite hand. It felt so nice, which made things even harder. Sorry, everybody. See ya. That's all I said as I quickly left the classroom. They said something to me as I was leaving, but I couldn't make it out. I managed to make it all the way to the entrance in that state of mind. Took my shoes, put them on, went forward. Harden that heart, Keiichi Maebara. They were, for some unfathomable reason, trying to kill me. They were plotting something dubious, watching my every move. But I couldn't hate them. Because they weren't my friends? Part of me lamented my naivete, while another part lamented the fact I had lost something important by lamenting it over in the first place. I felt like my consciousness was being ripped out of my body. If this was what Oyashiro-sama's curse was like, it was just too harsh. Hey, Oyashiro-sama, I was wrong for not believing in your curse. But I believe in it now, completely. The curse does exist. So seriously, give me a fucking break, I beg you, come on. Dinner was unusually bland. It had no flavor or aroma. Miso soup that normally tantalized my appetite instead tasted like nothing but boiled water. Dad was eating with us that night. It was a rare occurrence in this household. When he got into his work, he ate and slept on his own schedule. My dad never cared about the time. Since my dad was at the dinner table, it either meant he had just reached a good point to take a break, or he was in a slump. So yeah, he just doesn't understand the motivation creators have.
Well, your partnership was just a verbal agreement, was it? If it's so hard to agree on things, why not just end it?
I feel like it's an industry with a lot of back scratching, but when it gets in the way of business. I wasn't able to pick out much of my mom and dad's conversation, but I could tell it wasn't a very pleasant topic. That, of course, made the discussing food even less appealing. Sitting listlessly at the exchange between my parents, my mind wandered off to the same thought processes I had going all day long. Friends close to me, no, they used to be friends, but I could no longer trust them. And I was greatly lacking in allies. People I trusted, people I could depend on when push came to shove, or just something I didn't have. Having just one ally would have been incredibly reassuring in the currently hopeless situation I was in. I put down my chopsticks and looked over at my parents, who were still talking about work. First course of action that came to mind was to tell my parents everything. Apparently there was a single person from Hinamizawa I could trust 100%. That means the people I could trust were my parents. But if I told them everything that happened until now, would they understand? Rena, for example. Neighborly Rena was so diligent in looking after me, and came to me every day, and sometimes even brought over a share of what she made. How could I explain that she wanted to kill me? No matter how I explained, it would probably be difficult for anybody to comprehend. If someone eccentric dad would understand, my high-strung mom would probably drag me off to a psychiatrist in the blink of an eye. Sadly, that was the amount of trust that existed in our relationship. Even if they did come to understand, what could they possibly do? Unless they could uncover the truth. Unless they could uncover... Cover? Oh man, I'm tired. Can you tell? They're adults, so that means they 100% not understand? It's true! Boomers are lame! Unless they could uncover the truth, they wouldn't be able to protect me. No, by informing them of these unnecessary things, I'd be putting my parents in danger as well. Considering that the victims of the past incidents were often married couples, they couldn't even joke about it. For the entire Maibara family to have an incident, or just to vanish into thin air, it was easily possible in Hinamizawa. What's important here was knowing that something unnecessary puts you in danger. The most unsettling question was, how did they know that I knew? As long as they didn't know, my parents might not fall victim. There's one way to think about it, I guess. At least it was like that in my case. After I found out, things started becoming odd. In other words, it meant the following. As long as my parents didn't know anything, nothing would happen to them. As long as my parents were here, this house would be a safe haven for them. I knew these were just assumptions based on conjecture on top of conjecture. Wanting this house to be a safe haven, that was the pinnacle of my weak-willed method of thinking. I had to concede that it was not completely safe. It was only safer than the outside. I knew that I couldn't rely on my parents. No, I couldn't risk getting my parents involved. Go sleep on my bed. I wanna snooze. Then the only person who could be my ally would be Oishi-san. Him and him alone. He was the only person who understood the situation I was in. He didn't care so much about my safety, but he was without a doubt passionate about solving the case. It was a bit frustrating. Oishi-san was basically the whole reason I was in this mess. Now to get out of it, I had to rely on him. Meaning it was all going according to his devices. It was just my job to look appetizing while bobbing in the waves as bait. Then when the fish started to gather around, Oishi-san would pull up the big haul. It was slightly infuriating, but even I thought that was the best course of action. So then what should I do? Patience are the first rule of fishing. Just keep waiting until the fish actually bites. But I wasn't simply bait. There were lots of ways for me to struggle before being devoured. When they struck, I needed to somehow dodge just enough and tag out to Oishi-san. The question was going to be hard. Time to bring Oishi-san in would be difficult. He was in the city, not Hinamizawa. So if I found him in any moment of need, it would take him about 30 minutes to reach me. So I need to run away for those 30 minutes. For example, if we set up a rendezvous point for dire situations or something. I just have to hide out there until Oishi-san arrived. Okay, I can all see it now. I was still being chased around in the dark by boogeymen, but now I knew which way to go. I would never have imagined this would be so reassuring. Oh, yeah, it would probably be best if I had a concealed weapon for when things got rough. Typically that would call for a switchblade, but that wasn't too reassuring for combat. Also, since it was recognized as a weapon by the public, that also wasn't good. Really, when the time comes, a long weapon like a bat would work in my favor. I remember there was a metal bat at school. I could be confident that, when push came to shove, if I pretended I was practicing my swing, then it wouldn't be suspicious for me to always carry it around. I could go to school early tomorrow and secure it. Just possessing a weapon might be enough to deter them. Also, one more thing, insurance. It could be something like a note or a memo. I could write down everything that's happened as a sort of journal. In case I suddenly vanish, the journal would be left behind. With my journal in his possession, Oishi-san should be able to avenge my death. I left my parents engrossed in their conversation about work and went back to my room. Hustle, hustle, muscle, muscle. I tore out a piece of paper from my notebook and made my way to my desk. Last time I wrote a journal, it was for summer homework in elementary school. In the off chance something bad happened, the police could use my diary as a lead. So I should only write down the facts. How should I start? I jotted down my thoughts as they came. I, Keiichi Mibara, am in fear for my life. It made me laugh nervously. It was a line that showed up often in detective stories. Never even dreamed that I would be the type of situation where I'd write it myself. I do not know why they're after my life. Me and the others were suspicious but I had no proof. That's why I couldn't write anything more. I left Riley and myself writing such a passage draped in mystery. Will the police be able to get the hint from reading this enigmatic passage? I really pray that they would. What I prayed for most, though, was that this journal never needed to play its part. Here, I laughed nervously. It was too simple, so I wrote down one more line I just thought of. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Was that too much? I probably shouldn't write more than that. If I wrote any more, then it would just seem like I was delusional. In order to appear to the reader that the person who had written this was of sound mind, I chose not to write anything else at that point. I proceeded to add more as I learned more about the truth. I folded the paper and thought I would place to hide. By hiding it somewhere obvious, there was a chance that they would uncover it instead. On the other hand, it was too obscure of a location, and there was a risk of nobody finding it at all. In the end, I decided to take the clock off my wall and stick my folded note on the back of it with scotch tape. After that, I put the clock back into its normal position. Yeah. It didn't look like anything was hidden behind it. Now I just need to set it up such that if anything happens to me, my parents could find it. I looked at it from countless different angles until I was satisfied and made my way downstairs. Feel like I would enjoy Osomatsu-san. It's a silly anime. Maybe I would. I do enjoy silly anime. Just like Higurashi. Pretty silly, fun, like little slice of life thing. Been really enjoying it so far. So yeah, that sounds like right up my alley. My parents were still talking about work. Heck yeah, real silly that old Higurashi. Hella! It looked like it was gonna end anytime soon, so I cut in. Sorry to interrupt. I have something I want to talk to you about. Never started off a conversation like that before, so my parents were both startled. They stopped talking and turned towards me.
Oh, what is it, Keiichi?
I have a favor to ask of you. Please listen. Just in case, yeah?
If it's not urgent, can we do this later? Right now, Mommy and Daddy are having something urgent they're talking about.
I think this was more urgent than mine. In any case, I stated my request. Just in case, okay? If I die... Both my parents' eyes went white as saucers. If I die, why don't you put it in the clock on my wall in my coffin? If they did that, then they'd probably find it. My memoir. Both my parents remained wide-eyed, not moving an inch. Couldn't blame them. I made that clock in shop class, and I really like it. So please.
What's the matter? Keiichi, did something happen?
Mom was finally asked to answer the questioning gaze. Of course, this is a normal response when someone's son suddenly talked about a subject like this. I felt bad about making them worry, but right now I just wanted to make them think about the clock in my room. With the awkward mood leaving the room in silence, I just decided to go back to my room. I want to get to school early tomorrow, so I'm going to bed. Good night. Saying only that, I left the living room. I need to get to school early tomorrow and secure the bat. I should make today the last day I went to school with Rina. As I climbed the stairs, I heard my mom call my name, but I pretended not to hear her. It wasn't something I could talk about with my parents. If I talked about it, it would only make things more dangerous. The fight that had begun was mine and mine alone. I couldn't rely on anyone. I wouldn't be killed, not when I still knew nothing. Dude! feeling so hot. Yeah, feel that. Oh boy. Alright. Let's view the new tip, and I'll call it there. Keep it nice and short.
Kichiku's been feeling down lately. Maybe he's in a bad mood.
Fuck. Oh, I wonder. Maybe he's on his period.
Michan, that's gross.
What do you think?
What do you think?
I don't know. Go to the K-chan.
Could you have a Kichan, maybe?
I don't know.
That day Kichan was in that car talking to some tubby middle-aged guy, right?
Yeah, no mistake. I
wish you probably fed him something fishy.
He was so serious. Kichiko's face was pale.
So you might not know this, but he's actually the messenger of Uyashiro-sama.
Ah, what do you mean?
Whenever he shows up, someone's demoned away. No lie.
Oh, is that so?
The year before last, when Rika-chan's mom drowned, right? Right before that, she was visited by Uishi.
Now that you mention it, happened before Satoshi-kun transferred out.
Transferred?
Oh fuck. I got the voices mixed up. Ah well. Transferred? Oh, you're so sweet, Rena.
This time he's appeared before Keiichi-kun. So Keiichi-kun's gonna be demoned away too?
An empty silence hung in the air, and then it was suddenly interrupted by loud laughter. God, I fucking hate this, dude! Okay. Okay. That was Higurashi. God damn it. Oh, man. Well, anyways, with that, you know how it is. If you wanna see when I stream and you know what I'm streaming, you can go ahead and go to my channel and check the schedule tab. Wow, it shows all the times when I am streaming, and when I'm not streaming, and when I'm streaming, and when I'm not. Wow, how insane is that? And if you missed a past broadcast that you want to if you want to check out, maybe, you can scroll right on down and go to the panel, and you got the link to the VOD channel, Bunny Spun VODs. Wow, this will be going up probably tomorrow or something. Who knows? My upload schedule's a little weird. And hey, while you're down there, you can go ahead and check out the Discord. Wow. We get horny over all sorts of shit there. We're all degenerates, so it's a wonderful time. Today, it's probably going to be... Oh gosh. What's an... Yes. Let's get horny over Uishi-san. Let's get horny over him. He's got a beefy body to him. It's very respectable. With that though, it's gonna be so long. Farewell. And a good night. And oh yeah, I guess we could, you know, go and stop by at Buddha One. You know, all that good stuff.